Guys, it's Omer from MMOs.com. I'm doing a quick first impressions gameplay video for SamuTale, a buy-to-play Sandbox MMORPG with full loot, developed and published by a company called MapleMedia. Spend 10 to 15 minutes running around checking this game out. Makes comments if you guys do want to play SamuTale or just learn more about it. Do check out the review on MMOs.com on the link below. So let's get started. That logo that we saw earlier for SamuTale looked a lot like the Hearthstone logo. That's what it reminded me of. Alright, I'm liking the lady's proportions a bit more, so let's go play her. Unfortunately, there is no boob slider, so we can't play with that. We're going to go with always go with red hair on the ladies. It's got this very Western, cartoony aesthetic to it. Almost looks like a World of Warcraft, but like twice as cartoony, if that makes sense. Character customization is fairly limited, but it's no big deal. The game is in early access right now, or pre-early access, one of those phases. But yeah, look at the logo. Doesn't it look like mega like Hearthstone? Welcome to SamuTale. You can move with WASD, Shift, left mouse, simple enough. Left click to attack, and you can strafe side to side. Nice. It looks actually like a lot of like this was Silence of Fate maybe. But let's go. We are right now in town over here. Not too many other people in the game right now. Again, namely because it's in that pre-early access phase. But from what I've seen on the website, it actually piqued my interest. It's supposed to be a sandbox MMORPG, so think like with the crafting elements, obviously. So think like almost like Conan Exiles, but in one MMORPG. So rather than just being a survival game, it's essentially a survival game with MMORPG elements. There's actually you can see my HP and whatnot over here. Are there levels is what I'm curious about. And we gotta start crafting some goodies. Alright, here we are in town. Let's go find our way outside town, chop some trees down, as you do with basically any of these survival games right from the get-go. We can make a campfire, torch, rope. We can make, let's go find some tools. Stone axe. Okay, we're gonna need to make a wooden, we need to get all these resources first. So let's go find our way outside town. Maybe get some quests over here too. But it's also a full loot MMORPG, so it's just like Rust or Conan Exiles. You kill someone, you can take anything. So you can, do we not have the recipe for these right from the get-go? So we gotta learn some of those recipes from the get-go. That's interesting. Alright, let's find the way outside town. It should be a pretty big world though, because this is not just one server for like a few people. It's supposed to fit hundreds of people in a true MMORPG-like environment. I've always thought the mix of MMORPG and sandbox survival would be an awesome game. And you've seen a lot of games try to do it, games like Dark and Light, games like Citadel, Forged Fire. Haven't played either of those just yet, but a bunch of games are trying to do it. Obviously, this game is actually going to be quite empty on pre-early access right now. I'm trying to find my way outside town too, but all right, we'll jump over this wall. We'll get out that way. In fact, in pre-early access, I think there's only 2 people on the European server, which I'm playing on right now. Our shift is our run. We can get over the wall this way. There we go. Let's go find some resources now. Animations are a bit janky, but it runs fairly well. We can pick up the log. Our first few resources you pick up off the ground. Again, very similar to the way the Conan Exiles worked, actually. So before we can make our first axe, we gotta run around picking stuff up like peasants. Like the peasants we are. But anytime you're building like a huge world, like the concept of survival games I think are awesome. I played a lot of Rust and I played a lot of Conan Exiles. And I'm a big fan of survival games. So having an MMORPG atmosphere with that, I think is an awesome combination, honestly. Whichever game pulls it off really well first, I think will do tremendously well. So I'm already out of stamina. Oh, when you stop moving, it comes all the way. So it doesn't come when you're like even walking. So you just gotta actually stop to get all of it. So we gotta find a bunch of more resources. There's some rocks maybe down there. So we gotta, where are these scattered resources at? Keep looking around. Pretty directionless early on. Oh, what is it? We see our stats over here. Our friends list. This is our clan menu. We have no clan stuff yet. I got 1 log on me. We got 1 log, boys. Can I grab this tree? Can I just cut this down with my hands? Eat a gather, yeah. So yeah, we're gathering right off the bush. Is that gonna give us cloth? What do we get out of that? We gathered something successfully. Gather successful. We got some plant fiber. Just like that's what's called the Conan Exiles as well. Go pick these. Yeah, boy. Let's get some more logs. You boys got to make a house. We're not seeing any other houses in this area either, so maybe building in this area might be a little restricted. You got maybe a bit further out of this default town. But it's cool there's actually like NPC villages too. I imagine the PvP is disabled in that area. Much like any of these other games, it's going to start off slow. I mean, if you've played any survival game, you kind of know from the get-go how it works. Alright, we got enough of these. Now we need a few more rocks. I think we need 2 more rocks. And we need some rope, and then we can make our first tool. Start cutting down trees way more efficiently. Let's grab this bad boy as well. Can we get these flowers? Nope. Alright, we can make something now. We're good. Look at that pea. We can make. We need 1 rope. We can make. Where's our rope? There we go. We got enough fibers. Oh, we need 10 fibers. Let's go find a few more bushes to gather. These games are always typically slow-paced. Again, it should be no surprise whether Conan Exiles or not. I actually like the cartoon aesthetic a lot too. I know people sometimes think the cartoony look is not very serious, which is why I think, oh, there's a wolf is gonna F me up. He's level 5. We can't mess with that guy. So there are levels in this game. You can see on the top left, I'm only level 1. So the only other survival game with levels that I know of is actually that I've actually played is Conan Exiles. Again, you do have games like Dark and Light and Citadel Forged with Fire, also trying to do the same thing. Yo, can we punch the shit out of this rabbit? This is like a very cute looking rabbit. Look at this guy. He's adorable. All right, we can't punch the shit out of the rabbit. Let's get this as well, and I think one more bush, and we can make our axe. We're gonna make our first weapon, boys. I've played a lot of these survival games, and always you gotta sink a lot of time into them to get your base going. But typically, after you invest the time, it is a lot of fun. Though, because it's in early access, unless you're really interested in like seeing the development process, I think the fun of these games comes from a giant community. Having a big community makes, you know, base building, resource gathering, territory control more meaningful. If, you know, the game is pretty... Oh, so we got 18. We're good to go. If you don't have that, it's, I think, very hard to get invested in these games. But I'm like... Oh, how do we have 3 out of 10? Do we have 18? Yeah, we got 18 plant fiber, yo. Let's move these around. A little janky. Why is it 3 out of 10? Can we... What? Okay, now it's 10 out of 10. Again, I'm not sure. It's about... You gotta go back and forth, refresh it. Early access, boys. We got that, and we're gonna get my stone axe. Again, 0 out of 1. I just made that rope, bro. Did I not make a rope? I 100% made a rope, boys. Let's go back. 0 out of 1. Where did the rope go? Failed to craft rope. Oh no. All right, we can try again. We're gonna gather another one of these. There's some RNG chance to fail, which is odd. I feel like if they're gonna add RNG chance to fail, is there some kind of skill system for crafting where like the more I craft a rope, the better I get at it? If so, it's not being demonstrated well in games. It might just be an RNG system where if you just get unlucky, boom, there goes your resources. Luckily, it's a tier 1 resource, so it's no big deal. But had I lost like some epic item, that would be very frustrating. All right, we're gonna try our luck one more time. Let's make that rope. And you have, you know, basically if we run out of food over there, we might die as well. So let's go back to resources. We're gonna make that rope. And let's get the 100. Let's get there. Oh, we received 2 levels in handcrafting. So yes, there is actually a crafting. There's actually a crafting skill involved as well. So there's both a skill system and some kind of XP/leveling system. We're 5 out of 400 right now. So this axe actually might be useful to kill. We can maybe kill that wolf with it too. Oh, we need one more log. Let's pick that bad boy up. Where's this last log at? And once you start being able to cut down trees and hitting rocks with like a pickaxe, I imagine the early resource gathering will definitely speed up. I'm sure there's different tiers of stuff too. We can see how much stuff there is to craft. But you know, this is an interesting aesthetic for a game like this. The only other cartoony survival game I've seen is stuff like what is it? Tree of Life maybe? There really aren't that many cartoony survival games. We've seen a lot of games enter the survival genre after we've seen how successful Rust and Ark were. Survival Evolved rather. So you know, we've seen a lot of games like this. But none of those games are nearly as ambitious. The only other ambitious games like this, I would say, again, are Dark and Light as well as Citadel Forged with Fire. Both games I do want to try, actually. And I think both games have a higher budget as well. This is, again, an indie company making this, MapleMedia. Roger Maple Story, MapleMedia. Where's this last log at, yo? Gotta find that last log. Alright, we gotta up the spawn of these logs at the beginning. I know resources are supposed to be rare, but come on. Give me that last log. Oh, there it is. It's blending in. But we got him. Alright, we can make this. If the axe fails, I'm going to be so salty. I will be so salty. 4 out of 5. There we go. You go back and forth. Back and forth. The game's been in development for, I think, a little over 2 years as of this video. You received 1 levels in smithing, and we got it. So our skill is going up. We got a weapon. You can make axe and stuff, too. Nice. It is equipped. We are good to go. There we go. Let's chop this tree down. Why is this tree called the beach? Is that a kind of tree, maybe? It could be. So we're 10 out of 400 XP. We are gaining XP just crafting stuff. So I guess when this tree goes down, it'll drop all the loot. It better drop more than 1 log, I swear. If 1 tree drops 1 log, I'll be kind of salty again. And we got thanks to you for knocking this tree down. Look at those sick physics, not bad. So yeah, we got 4 logs, not bad. All right, I like how it drops almost like a MMORPG when you kill an enemy. It becomes like a loot box, and you just take the loot that it drops. Alright, this birch is getting cut off too. So I'm curious, the birch logs different than the beech logs? We'll find out. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same. Maybe just different yields. So yeah, you gain experience just by cutting these down too. So combat as well as basically crafting all gives you experience. very relaxing music as well. Honestly, definitely not bad for an indie project. My only concern is that this kind of game I think is awesome, but the problem I think is you're gonna be competing with both Citadel and Dark and Light. Again, I haven't played either of those games yet, but they're both out in early access already, and I know Dark and Light, at least as this video, has over like 6,000, 7,000 players online, so it's got a pretty hefty following early on. And these games, they need a community to thrive. So clearly, they're not going for a mass release just yet. I think they said they wanted to be free to play, but they have to make some kind of money. That's why it's buy to play right now with the Founders Packs, and it probably will be buy to play at launch as well, though I don't think it's set in stone. And it's already been a few years in development. And again, the concept is really cool. It's just that, can an indie game like this survive? That's the real question. And can it, compete? If there was no Dark and Light, and if there was no Citadel Forged Fire, they could take their time and work on this. But because those games are already out, I'm just afraid the player base that's looking for an MMORPG meets Sandbox experience might find themselves in a different, in either of those other games. But they advertise full loot and pretty much Sandbox crafting, things I really like. There's no set, classes in the game either. Equip whatever you want, equip whatever gear you want, then you get to use it, which is, again, I think really cool. It's gonna be that sick experience. We're nowhere near level 2 yet, but we gotta chop down a lot more trees. So what else can we start crafting right now? I can make some cloth shirts if I get some cloth. Where do we get the cloth though? Maybe we can make it from probably the twines. We can make a crafting table as well. Use to craft various items. Blueprint table. Let's see what kind of items we have. Construction. These are only for the stuff I have access to. I think my construction skill is 0 of 99. So you can see your actual skills. Basically, you got handcrafting, smithing, construction, cooking, and farming. And I think there's recipes I don't have. Like maybe these. No, you do level 21 to start crafting these. Maybe I'm not sure if there's everything in the game, because you might be able to buy some recipes in town and whatnot. But if you like what you see, I wouldn't recommend it right now because it's in early access and there's very few players online. We didn't bump into a single player. This server only had 2 players online when I first logged in. So it's just an interesting project to maybe keep an eye on if this is your cup of tea. Tree of Life was kind of like this as well. Tree of Life was, I think, it's probably one of the only released, cartoony Sandbox and MMORPGs out there. But yeah, if you guys do want to learn more about SamuTale or just learn more about it, do check out the review on MMOs.com on the link below. Anyway, guys, later. I like my character's booty though. Got that booty. Later, guys.